Welcome everybody to Gateway Raceway, also known as Worldwide Technology Raceway. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Tuesday night Doghouse Racing League Tuesday night truck series here on iRacing, brought to you by Intensity Broadcasting. Looking for another great battle here tonight. See if anybody can stop Jonathan Jennings. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. See Jonathan Jennings dominating this season. Currently 2,289 points, almost a whole 100 points ahead of second place, Adam Gardner. Adam moving into second place after Justin McMahon missing last week. So right now it's just a battle for second place as Jonathan Jennings has pretty much locked up the championship. All he's got to do is show up to the next two races after this, and he will be your series champion. But you see plenty of battling behind. Second, all the way back, still up for grabs, Adam Gardner, Justin McMahon in a tight battle there for second. Kevin Powell, Steve Gerber, your top five. Christopher Simon, Ricky Williams, Mike Leftwich, Daniel Wilkerson, and Christopher Leftwich, your top 10. Speaking about out on track right now, we see the 24 of Justin McMahon, currently the fastest truck on the racetrack. Jonathan Jennings not too far behind though. Actually, Jonathan Jennings and Justin McMahon pretty much tied for the top spot. Adam Gardner not showing as much speed here tonight. Currently sits back in the 13th position. We'll see if he's able to climb his way up towards the front. Got about 2.5 minutes left here in practice before we get things underway. Let's take a look at Jonathan Jennings' line around this track. And Gateway is a bit of a unique track. It's a very uniquely shaped track. We're going to see the SCSRA boys in a little bit taking on Darlington. Very similar shape here at Gateway, as you can see the shape here. The only difference is here at Gateway, or Worldwide Technology Raceway, it's very flat compared to Darlington. A lot wider, a lot more room to move around, but this track really races more like a road course than it does an oval. As we see 13 get really loose there off the corner, end up down there in John Deere country. You see Christopher Simon making his way around the racetrack now as well. Let's take a ride here with Christopher Simon next time he comes through turns 3 and 4. Down the front stretch towards the tighter of the two turns, turns 1 and 2. Turns 1 and 2 banked at 11 degrees. Get the good run down the long backstretch towards here, the shifting as well. These drivers are going to be shifting, kind of like you do at Pocono. So you're starting to go all the way down into turns 3 and 4, much wider, much longer radius corner. For that, he's going to stay in 4th gear all the way around, banked at 9 degrees. That's a lap of Worldwide Technology Raceway. So it's going to be a tricky track, especially with the shifting. You're going to see a lot of drivers, you should see some drivers get themselves in trouble doing some shifting here as well. We see in the chat, Justin McMahon saying, hey Josh, just checking to see if train paint's working properly for you. I've been having problems. Let's take a look at that truck. And I see the Group 6 24 machine, so don't know if that's the one that I'm supposed to be seeing, but it's a good looking truck and it's got the right number on it and everything, so we should be good to go. This practice has now concluded, and we're going to get ready for 5 minutes of qualifying here around Worldwide Technology Raceway. Let's see who one of our first drivers to hit the racetrack is. Looks like it's going to be Dominic Hughes coming off pit road first in that Hughes Garage 89 machine. Justin McMahon gave him a little hang loose there, so I'm taking it. I got the right paint job on that truck for him, so we'll go with that. So Hughes coming down the front stretch to start his first of 2 laps here. Chris Leftwich also just taking the green flag. Ooh, real big slide out of that 89 machine, trying to get down into the corner, trying to get everything he can getting through the apex of that corner. Just not enough grip, though, on those cold tires. You saw that truck slide up the racetrack. See what he does here in the wider radius turn. Yeah, hear him shifting both ends of the track. Coming down across the stride, and Frank Hughes will currently be the fastest truck until Nick Millette. Everybody else starts making their way across the line. Down off of turn number 4, back down towards the stripe. Let's see what we see here out of Hughes, and he's going to stay back in the 12th position. See Justin McMahon just making his way down the backstretch through turns 3 and 4 on his second lap. Down to the stripe. And McMahon's going to go P2. Kevin Powell currently up at the top of the leaderboard. Here's the 14 of Jeffrey Engel. Currently 11th fastest. See what he's able to do here on his second lap. Jeffrey Engel is going to come across the stripe in the 11th position. Gary Armillo just taking the green flag on his first of 2 laps. Have another chat here in the chat. K Doggy just saying hi to the viewers. Have fun. Hopefully we have a great race tonight. Driver of the 33 truck. That'd be Kevin Brown in the 33. Good luck tonight, Kevin. Hope to see you have a great race here at this Worldwide Technology Raceway. Gary Mio comes across the line, takes the white flag on his first of 2 laps, moves up into the 14th position on his first time around. See if he's able to improve on that time on his second lap. Mio off of turn number 4, down to the stripe. That 20 machine is going to stay currently in the 15th position. 3 drivers left to qualify. Eddie Rivers, Kevin Brown, and Ricky Williams. So far, it looks like everybody who's going to make a qualifying attempt has made their attempt. We're waiting for qualifying to finish up. We want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or on Kick, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Yeah, that's right. We're broadcasting on Kick now as well. So you can find us everywhere that you like to watch your live streaming. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you know we go live anytime here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we want to thank our great partners who make this possible. Of course, we want to thank the Doghouse Racing League, who will be on for another season with us. So next season, they will be right back here on Intensity Broadcasting. Looking forward to another fantastic season next season. We also want to thank our great partners over at Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com. Don't forget to check out our channel collect our merch over at IntensityRacing.com. You can also find Atman Reese's racing gear there as well. Novelty t-shirts, league t-shirts. So check that out over at IntensityBroadcasting.com. Of course, Doghouse Racing League has their website as well, DoghouseRacingLeague.com, where you can find merchandise there as well as all your news and information, anything related to the Doghouse Racing League, not just the truck series, but all the series as well. Of course, we want to thank our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgrade racing sim haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, not just do they have racing haptics and gaming gear, but you can also check out haptics that go in your couch for listening to music, watching movies, and more. So you can check all that out over at thebuttkicker.com. Let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And on pole is the 93 of Kevin Powell, with Justin McMahon to his outside in position number 2. Jonathan Jennings will roll off third, with Frank Hughes Jr. in the 61 rolling off from the 4th position. Then Chris Leftwich and Neil Rutt III round out your 3rd row. Christopher Simon in the 27, he'll roll off 7th, with Tyler Millette in the 94 in the 8th position. Then rounding out your top 10, a couple of Goodwins, Bobby Goodwin and Dylan Goodwin, both in that 5th row. Jeff Ringel rolled off from the 11th position, with Bill Gentry back in 12th. 13th will be Justin Hughes and Daniel Wilkerson from the 14th position. Garamillo back in 15th, with Gary Clune rolling off from the 16th position. Then Dominic Hughes and Adam Gardner rounding out row number 9. Row 10 will find Kevin Brown, who shouted us out earlier in the chat, and Ricky Williams in the 20th spot. 21st is going to be Eddie Rivers, and that's going to round out the field here tonight at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Mike Leftwich says, out of town getting... Read that again. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. Out of town working for good old Shoney's. Good luck, Shoney's race team 1327. He's out of town working. So, Mike, good to see you in the chat. Sorry you couldn't be here tonight, but we look forward to seeing you back out on the racetrack as the field is making their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. And Kevin Powell is going to lead him down to the green flag. There it is, flying in the air, green flag racing. We are here for 70 laps at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And you see Justin McMahon up on that high side getting a great jump, but Kevin Powell able to dive it down into the corner to keep himself out in front. But Justin McMahon fighting hard up on that high side as they wrestle off of turn number 2. McMahon with that high lane advantage, a little better off the corner. He's going to take over the lead as Kevin Powell settles in right behind Jonathan Jennings back in that 3rd position. He's got a mirror full of the 61 of Frank Hughes Jr. as they make their way off of turn number 4. Side by side, just a little bit further back, is the 13 of Chris Leftwich trying to take a look down underneath the 72 of Neil Rutt. Down into the corner, side by side, just in front, Frank Hughes trying to make a move on Jonathan Jennings as Jennings able to tuck in and get around the 61, of Frank Hughes. So far, everybody kind of just settling in right now. We're seeing a couple different lines from drivers. Oh, Leftwich lost it off the front stretch, locks it up. Spins around. Oh, collects a... Oh, big hit. Big hit there for the 13 of Chris Leftwich. And that's going to bring out our first caution of the night and our first wreckage rewind. Quite a few drivers caught up in this one. We'll take a look here from the blimp, and we see Leftwich there getting a little loose there on the low side. Tries to correct it. Ends up coming back up across the track. right in front of Christopher Simon. Looks like Simon's going to just barely squeak through. And the Leftwich, the truck just turns itself around and right in the path of quite a few drivers. Ooh, tough hits there. I see the 08 involved. That's Justin Hughes. Looks like Gary Clune got a piece of it. The 28 of Robbie Goodwin involved in that as well. Kevin Brown caught up in it. Let's see what happened to Brown here. Oh, Brown's the 33. That's that yellow truck that's going to just have nowheres to go. And he was pretty much through it until the 11. Oh, and then it hits Simon, who was pretty much through it and then got caught up in it. And then we see where the 28 was trying to avoid it. Adam Gardner just barely able to sneak on through. So a lot of drivers coming down pit road. Daniel Wilkerson, Adam Gardner, Bobby Goodwin, Kevin Brown, Eddie Rivers, Dominic Hughes, Gary Clune, Chris Leftwich, Justin Hughes, all down on pit road. Unfortunately, I think that may be the end of the night for quite a few drivers here on lap number 3. So a tough break for both the Shoney drivers involved in that, both Christopher Simon and Chris Leftwich involved. I thought the racing tonight, the track was going to be a bit tricky. I didn't think it'd be that tricky with drivers getting loose off of turn at number 4, but unfortunately, already saw our first big wreck of the evening. And the Doghouse Racing League really known for its clean racing, not really used to seeing too many caution flags in the series as the field gets ready to re-rack, restack, and get ready to refire here. 4 drivers still on pit road. That's Gary Clune, Dominic Hughes, Chris Leftwich, and Justin Hughes. Looks like Kevin Brown, Christopher Simon and Bobby Goodwin were all able to get back out onto the racetrack. So that's good news. See how those trucks are driving after their heavy contact. Most drivers on pit road though, Daniel Wilkerson, Adam Gardner, Eddie Rivers, Bobby Goodwin, looks like they took fuel only, where the other drivers were on pit road more for repairs than anything. Here we go, Justin McMahon going to choose the outside lane yet again on this restart. He had a good jump on the first one. Let's see what he's able to do here as they come down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and already a battle shaping up here going into turn number 1 as we see Jonathan Jennings down to the inside of Frank Hughes Jr. trying to take over that 3rd position. But Hughes fighting back hard on the high side. They're door-to-door, side-by-side as they go down into turn number 3. Hughes going to close the door on Jennings. They make their way through turns 3 and 4. Jennings going to try to get the launch here off the corner, trying to make something happen. Down into turn 1, down this long front straightaway. So far just tucking in line as Justin McMahon and Kevin Powell are battling side by side for the lead. And Powell back out to the front. Justin McMahon covers that spot to keep from Frank Hughes getting up into the mix. And here comes Justin McMahon with a crossover down into turn number 3. Now they're going to be side to side, door to door yet again through turns 3 and 4. And the battle off turn number 4 for the lead. Justin McMahon down on the inside. Kevin Powell up on the high side. It's a drag race. Kevin Powell just barely leading that lap down into turn number 1. And he 60 to 61 of Frank Hughes getting really loose there on entry. Tells me these drivers have a lot of rear brake dialed in these trucks. These trucks have a knob on the dashboard where they can change how much front to rear brake that they're using, and the more rear brake you use, the more the truck turns into the corner and kind of shifts all the balance to the rear. As the run goes on, you can move that brake bias to help with the truck's handling, and right now it looks like a lot of people driving with a lot of rear brake trying to get the truck to rotate into the corner. With these corners being different shapes and different bankings, it's ideal to be able to make that adjustment as the field makes their way down into turns 3 and 4. A little battle a little further back as Christopher Simon was able to get around Bobby Goodwin. So after Simon having all that damage, it looks like the truck's handling all right as he's moving his way up through the field. Jeffrey Engel and Ricky Williams side by side. This is a battle for the 10th position, excuse me, the 9th position, as the 10 of Ricky Williams is going to move himself up into that 9th spot, putting Jeffrey Engel back into 10th. Now Jeffrey Engel has a mirror full of Gary O'Neill as they go down into turns 3 and 4. Back up front, the battle for the lead is heating up as Justin McMahon staying right there on the back bumper, almost doing a little bump drafting down the front stretch into turn number 1. He's just not able to get close enough to try to make a move to the inside. Because right now those two trucks, the 93 and the 24, are pretty even as far as speed go. Take a look off the back of Kevin Powell here. Here I'm shifting down into 3rd gear, entering the corner as Frank Hughes is trying to take a look down underneath Justin McMahon. Just not able to make that move just yet. As Powell's able to drive in so much deeper than Justin McMahon is right now. I don't know if that's just McMahon trying to save a little bit of tires, or if Kevin Powell's just able to drive in that much deeper, but you see McMahon gets the good launch off the corner. This time he's going to take a look down to the inside as they come into turns 1 and 2. Powell pinching McMahon down on the low side. That's going to cause McMahon to lose a little bit of time as they're coming up on some lap traffic. As the 08 of Justin Hughes that these drivers are coming up on. You see our top 4 now under a blanket nose to tail as they come down into turn number 1 and try to dispatch the lap traffic. Seeing Jonathan Jennings got really loose there off of turn at number 2. Shows that this track right now is very, very slick. Take a look at the weather here, and yeah, the air temperature is 73 degrees. The track temperature is only 77, so I think the slickness that we're seeing is these drivers just running a lot of brake bias, rear brake, trying to get these trucks to turn, and Justin McMahon has gotten around Kevin Powell now for that top spot, and here comes Frank Hughes trying to take a look around the 93 of Powell. Let's see how Justin McMahon was able to get this move done. He just dove down to the bottom. Off of turn number 2, just able to drag race him down the backstretch and outbrake him down into turn number 3. They used the lap traffic there as a pick. I didn't even see that happen as they were going around the lap truck. But Frank Hughes Jr. doing a great job right now holding off that 91 of Jonathan Jennings. We've seen all season long it's been tough to keep that 91 machine in your mirror. Because out of the 13 races we've started up before today, Jonathan Jennings has won 8 of them. It means only 5 races he has not won. And those 5 races belong to Adam Gardner, Justin McMahon, and Kevin Powell. I think Adam Gardner struggling a little bit. Kind of caught back in the back of the pack, trying to move himself up into the top 10 here. Starting to catch the 14 of Jeffrey Engel. That is the 10th place truck, as you see them working around the 08 of Justin Hughes. Meanwhile, back up front, Jonathan Jennings had a run there on the 61 for a second. Ooh, caution out on the track. Oh no, the 27 of Christopher Simon involved in another one here tonight. Tough break for the Shoney's Racing team. That's going to bring out our second wreckage rewind of the night. Saw Bobby Goodwin involved in this one as well. Let's see if we can see what happened to Simon. Oh, Garamillo lost it going into the corner. See Daniel Wilkerson moving to the outside, and the 28 of Goodwin just did not see it quick enough. Couldn't check up. Got into the back of the 27. Looks like Simon was able to keep it off the wall. A little bit of side damage there from a little bump from the 28, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough to really hurt that truck. So all in all, a pretty lucky break for the 27 of Simon, not getting any significant damage there in that incident. However, we did see the 20 of Bobby Goodwin did catch the outside wall pretty hard, so we'll see if everybody, looks like everybody's going to come down pit road this time. Justin McMahon leads the field down onto pit road. We'll see if Kevin Powell is able to use that first pit stall to his advantage to get out in front. We see Adam Gardner down and rolling and away. Gardner take fuel only as McMahon gets out in front of Kevin Powell. Frank Hughes also able to get out in front of Kevin Powell. Jonathan Jennings loses a couple spots on pit road. Adam Gardner with a 6.82 second pit stop. So is Adam Gardner trying to run a little bit of strategy here, try to get himself, steal himself a win here tonight? We see Christopher Simon did stay out. Surprised he didn't make his way down pit road, so he's going to be on the oldest tires. There you see your pit stop times. Don't ignore Christopher Simons because that was back on lap number 4. But yeah, Adam Gardner with a 6.82 second pit stop. I don't know why everybody else's isn't showing right now, so we'll hide that for right now. Dominic Hughes, Kevin Brown still on pit road getting some repairs from their earlier incidents. And Chris Leftwich still showing on pit road, so it doesn't look like he's retired from the event just yet. Peppery Michelle says, good luck, bro, in the YouTube chat. As the field gets ready to go back green flag racing, we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them. And how about this old tires here on this front row? Then Justin McMahon and Frank Hughes back in row number 2. Kevin Powell, Jonathan Jennings in row 3. Tyler Millette, Bill Gentry back in row 4. And Dylan Goodwin and Ricky Williams, your top 10. As the pace car makes its way off of turn number 4, going to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And Christopher Simon's going to lead the field back down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and Adam Gardner able to use that 27 as a pick as they go down into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. And Simon just not able to get up. Oh, he's going to lose it. Simon loses it off of turn number 2, and oh my goodness, a big wreck here. More trucks are collected. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. Tyler Millette caught up in this one. Gary Amio caught up in this one as well. Let's take a look at this one from the blimp. See Simon down on the low side, and looks like he had a little, possibly a little bit of help there from the 24. Yeah, it looks like McMahon just didn't expect the 27 not to get off the corner like that. And then Simon comes right up into the track. You see Millette get into, that is the 34. Go sliding down to the inside, and then you see Amio, this back second incident going on here as well. The 51 was caught up in this, and that's Dylan Goodwin caught up in that. The 15 of Eddie Rivers caught up in that. That was the 34 of Bill Gentry caught up. So a lot of good drivers. So tough break for a lot of drivers there. Really just drivers not realizing that the older tires just weren't going to go, but it happens. That's going to give us another opportunity to re-rack them, restack them, and refire. Oh, lights are already off on. Oh, lights are still on the pace car. Well, you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. Head over to intensitybroadcasting.com. You can find that exact t-shirt, one of our novelty t-shirts, over at the website. You can check that out, along with all of our other Intensity novelty tees over at intensityracing.com. There's a link down in the description below. We've got other hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, underwear. We've got it all. So check it all out over at intensityracing.com. So here we go. Adam Gardner choosing the outside lane. Frank Hughes Jr. down on the bottom. Jonathan Jennings, Justin McMahon in row number 2. Sorry, that's Justin McMahon and, Jonathan Jennings in row 2. I can never tell the Jennings machine and the Powell machine apart sometimes. Then Kevin Powell and Jeffrey Engel in row number 3. As the pace car pulls down on the pit road. And Adam Gardner makes his way down to the Geico restart zone yet again. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing with 40 laps to go. And Adam Gardner again out in front, down into turn number 1. This time a much better restart for these drivers behind, as Jonathan Jennings getting around Justin McMahon, putting McMahon solidly into the 4th position. Way back we see Eddie Rivers getting passed by the 51 Dylan Goodwin. Goodwin was just on pit road. He had a bit of damage, but doesn't look like that's affecting his truck too much, as he's already started just marching forward. Adam Gardner being challenged by Frank Hughes Jr. down the front stretch, and those new tires, no match for the 56 of Gardner, as he's going to lose the lead. Possibly second place to Jonathan Jennings, and there's Justin McMahon just drives through as well. So Jonathan Jennings, again, who's just dominated the season, trying to put himself in victory lane for the 9th time tonight. Further back, we see a battle back here between Jeffrey Engel and Bill Gentry. Engel, though, trying to work that high lane. We've seen that high side work all night long. Engel trying to keep that trend going, as we see Ricky Williams being challenged by Neil Rutt III. So 4 cars under a blanket right here. Adam Gardner right in front of this group as well. So Gardner's gamble of staying out on those older tires just not working for him, as he is quickly falling back through the pack. Rutt's able to get around Ricky Williams. He's going to set his sights on Bill Gentry. Catalina saying, let's go Christopher Simon. Simon, unfortunately, as you know, running back in the 18th position. Got caught up in a couple incidents so far tonight. Unfortunately, not having a very good race, but it's been a wild night so far, so anything can happen. Definitely still on the lead lap, so still in contention at this moment. As Jeffrey Engel is running down the 56 of Adam Gardner, and here comes Neil Rutt looking up to the high side of Engel, but Engel's going to be able to use that 56 as a pick to keep himself out in front of the 72. The 72 does actually get around Jeffrey Engel. Oh, one truck hard into the outside wall. That was the 10 of Ricky Williams, just pounded the outside wall. He's going to have heavy damage to the right side of that machine, and you can see he might have something broken there on the right front, because he just hit that wall a ton. But for the time being, able to continue on as Adam Gardner losing another position. This is 5th place to Neil Rutt. Rutt pulls a little slide job up in front of the 56. While that's going on, up front we see Frank Hughes continuing to pull away from Jonathan Jennings. That's not something we've really said much this season, but pulling away from Jonathan Jennings currently. As Bill Gentry is about to lose a position here to the 94 of Tyler Millette. And right behind them, we see the 28 of Bobby Goodwin, who was caught up in a couple incidents today, and he's marched his way back into the top 10. As now, he has a little connection issue, but he's trying to be challenged, excuse me, by Ricky Williams for that 10th position. Back up front, Justin McMahon, Jonathan Jennings, these two racing each other pretty hard. You see McMahon gets loose off the corner. He wants to get himself back up there and try to challenge Frank Hughes for the win. Quickly approaching 30 laps to go. These drivers were last on pit road on lap 21. I have a feeling these drivers are not going to be able to make it to the end. I think we're going to see one more pit stop out of all these drivers. And this being a very tough pit road to get onto, you actually have to use the access road on the backstretch. It's Tyler Millette now trying to get around the 14 of Engel. Engel, though, fighting off on the high side. So keep him up in the 8th position for now. Now Engel running up on Gentry and Adam Gardner. .34 of Bill Gentry trying to challenge Gardner for that 6th position, but just not able to get the drive up off the corner that he'd want. Now I know he was involved in an earlier incident. Don't know if he has much damage to that truck. Doesn't look like that truck has any damage to it. A little bit on the left front there, so that could be aerodynamically hindering that 34 just a little bit. Ricky Williams taking a look back down to the inside of Jeffrey Engel. This is a battle for 9th and 10th, and Bobby Goodwin back in 11th, trying to follow through here as well. So great battles all over the racetrack as Jonathan Jennings and Justin McMahon have run down Frank Hughes for the lead. Jennings trying to use that higher lane to get the momentum and drive it down off the corner. He's going to pull right up to the back bumper of Frank Hughes. Hughes able to drive it in just a little bit deeper, trying to keep that 91 behind him. And now Justin McMahon right there on the back bumper, trying to slip through here as well. They are nose to tail down the front stretch. Down into turn number 1. Jennings falls back a little bit off of the 61 of Hughes. McMahon staying right there, glued to the back bumper of the 91. These 3 drivers pulling away from 4th place Kevin Powell. Here, all 3 of those trucks pretty much within the same song, same engine note. Tells me all 3 of those trucks are hooked up pretty much the same. As here comes Jonathan Jennings taking a look down to the inside. Down into turn number 3. Jennings is going to have the advantage here coming through turns 3 and 4. 61 washes up the track a little bit. That's going to allow Justin McMahon to pull down to the inside and battle for that 2nd position. Now McMahon's going to slide up into that 2nd position. We have 25 laps to go. Frank Hughes trying to hold on to that 3rd position. He's got a almost 2-second gap back to 4th place Kevin Powell. Again, I believe these drivers are going to have to come down pit road one more time. They were last on pit road on lap 21. I wouldn't be surprised to see drivers coming down pit road in the next 4 laps or so. That would be my guess. Right about lap 20 to go. These drivers making their way down pit road for their final pit stops. Jennings and McMahon just pulling away from Frank Hughes Jr. And Kevin Powell starting to run down that 61 machine. Hoping to get himself up into the 3rd position. Meanwhile, a little further back, we see Dominic Hughes on the back bumper of Jeffrey Engel. Here comes Hughes down to the inside of the 14. Ooh, and Bobby Goodwin pushes up the track a little bit, almost slides up to the wall. It's going to open the door for Gary Mio, who's also going to make a move here, but ooh, Engel looks like he might have caught the wall just a little bit. He lost all of his momentum. He loses 3 spots here down into turn number 1. Eddie Rivers has made his way down on the pit road. Could this be the start of green flag pit stops? As Jonathan Jennings and Justin McMahon still run nose to tail down into turn number 1. Here we go. Pit stop starting. Here comes Frank Hughes Jr., Kevin Powell, both down on the pit road. Adam Gardner also down on that access road, making his way down on the pit road. Neil Rutt on pit road as well. So green flag pit stops now underway. Justin McMahon. Missed pit road. Justin McMahon not able to get a woe down and misses the access road, and he loses a ton of time to Jonathan Jennings, who's now almost 3 seconds ahead of McMahon. Let's take a look here, see what happened to McMahon trying to get down onto the access road. Not getting woed down enough, goes through the grass. That is a tough break for that 24 machine. Here comes Jennings down onto pit road. McMahon this time gets woed down enough for pit road. That's going to give the lead over to Ricky Williams. McMahon was able to gain a little bit of time getting on the pit road. We'll have to see if maybe McMahon does anything different here on his pit stop. Maybe takes only 2, tries to get some of that time that he gained back here. Nope, right side's going up on the 24 as well. The 91 down and away. There goes McMahon down and away as well. We see more drivers down on pit road. Tyler Millette pulling away. Bobby Goodwin as well. Gary Amio and Jeffrey Engel both making their way down on the pit road. Ricky Williams, though, Dominic Hughes, Daniel Wilkerson, Kevin Brown, they're all currently staying out. Dominic Hughes, Daniel Wilkerson, both on the access road, making their way down on the pit road. Kevin Brown also driving it hard down on pit road. That's going to leave Ricky Williams out there all by himself. When it all cycles around, Kevin Powell will be out in the lead, and Powell did take 2 tires. So there you go. We got drivers that are gambling on 2 tires, and that's put Powell up in front of Frank Hughes Jr. Currently by just half a second, but Hughes, one driver slowed down on the grass there. That looked like Bobby Goodwin having some issues here getting off of pit road. And Ricky Williams continues to stay out there with 15 laps to go. Is Ricky Williams trying to save enough fuel here to steal one Adam Gardner style? He's got a 20-second lead over second place Kevin Powell. You see that gap, which has shrunk tremendously in the last 5 laps. About 6.5 seconds. But that seems like enough of an interval here if Ricky Williams was able to save that much fuel to steal himself a win here tonight. 13 laps to go. He's still shifting, which tells me he's driving it hard. Let's listen, see if he's trying to save any fuel. Yeah, you hear that truck way off the throttle. He's doing everything he can to save as much fuel as he can. Let's see as he comes down in turn number 1. Let's watch that tachometer there in the bottom left, see if it drops all the way down to 2. Pretty close. Sounds like he's saving a ton of gas here with just 12 laps to go. Oh, he catches the wall. The 10 of Ricky Williams up into the wall. Don't know if he was trying to hit pit road. Is he out of fuel? Yeah, it sounds like that truck is out of fuel as he is. And the caution came out. Caution is out. And the caution has come out for Ricky Williams. So that is going to bring up a wreckage rewind, and this is exactly what just brought out the caution is Ricky Williams slow down. Trying to stop here to make his, yeah, he almost came to a stop trying to pull down on the pit road there. So well, that's going to change everything. Here's the pass for what is now the lead. As the 61 Frank Hughes Jr. able to drive around Kevin Powell on 4 tires as opposed to Powell's 2 tires. But that's also going to bring Jonathan Jennings and Justin McMahon right up into the mix here. And I think the driver who's benefiting the most out of this is Justin McMahon, who missed pit road, had to come back around, lost about 3 seconds on the racetrack, which is a ton of time to Jonathan Jennings, and now finds himself right there side by side with Jonathan Jennings here on this restart. So we're just going to have under 10 laps to go here to settle it here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And that's going to bring us to our final 2 races of the season. Next week, we'll be taking on Five Flags Speedway for some short track racing. Then we'll be taking a week off for the 4th of July holiday. And rounding out the season on July 11th at Daytona International Raceway. Again, just by starting tonight, Jonathan Jennings has locked up the championship here this season. As he is almost 100 points ahead of Adam Gardner. In fact, 94 points as we see one driver taking the wave around. Frank Hughes going to take the high side on this restart. Kevin Powell down on the low side. Justin McMahon, Jonathan Jennings back in row number 2. Palin Millette and Bill Gentry back in row number 3. Christopher Simon making his way back up into the top 10. Back in the 7th spot with the 51 of Dylan Goodwin to his outside. And then Daniel Wilkerson and Adam Gardner round out your top 10. So here we go. The pace car going to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. As the sun has set, the track has cooled off, the fireworks are getting ready to fly, And the green flag is back in the air with just 7 laps to go. Great jump for Frank Hughes as they make their way down into turn number 1. Kevin Powell working down underneath Justin McMahon, trying to take away that second position as they make their way off of turn number 2. McMahon, though, up on the high side, able to get the run and move himself solidly into the second position. Now is Kevin Powell going to try to block the 91 of Jonathan Jennings? And does Justin McMahon have anything for Frank Hughes Jr.? Off of turn number 4 across the stripe, 6 laps to go. Caution! Caution is out on the speedway. Looks like it's for the 08 of Justin Hughes. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. So we take a look to see what happened to the 08, working to the outside of Ricky Williams. Oh, we see is I think that's Jeff Engel. Got a little loose there off of the corner. No, that's not Engel. That is the not sure who that was. That was Gary Clune. So let's go back and see what happened here. As Gary Clune got a little loose here off the corner. And that was the 08's reaction to keep from running back into the back of the 10. Locked up the tires and went for his own little spin there into the inside wall, and that's what brought out our caution. See Catalina say, Chris Simon, you can do it. Again, Chris, after getting caught up in 2 early incidents, one on lap 3 and one on lap 15 or so, finding himself up into the top 10 is a huge feat for that 27 machine, as we see the lucky dog of the 51 going by up on the high side. I'm sorry, that's a 21, excuse me, of Bobby Goodwin going around on the high side to get the lucky dog to get back a lap. Don't forget to join us right after this one as the SCSRA Truck Series gets ready for one of their crown jewel events tonight. Double points race from Darlington Speedway. 170 laps around the Lady in Black. Don't want to miss that one. So 2 egg-shaped racetracks tonight. An action-packed night here on Intensity Broadcasting. Lights on the pace car are still on the pace car, which means we'll be going at least one more lap. See where Frank Hughes chooses this time, if he chooses the high side again. We've seen the leader having great luck restarting on the high side. With See if that trend continues here tonight. As the pace car comes across the line, the lights go off. We're going to have ourselves a green-white checker. So here we go, setting ourselves up for a green-white checker. Frank Hughes on the outside, Justin McMahon on the inside. Then Jonathan Jennings and Kevin Powell back in row number 2. Powell to the inside, Jennings on the outside. And then you'll find Tyler Millette and Dylan Goodwin back in row number 3. Bill Gentry and Kevin Simon, Christopher Simon back in row 4. Adam Gardner, Neil Rutt back in row 5 as the pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. And green flag is back in the air. 2 laps to go. Green-white checker underway as Justin McMahon makes an aggressive move up to the high side to cover that spot to keep Jonathan Jennings and Kevin Powell behind him. The field rockets down the backstretch here. Kevin Powell to the inside. Jonathan Jennings down on the high side. Justin McMahon slips up a little bit, though. The battle for the final podium spot is continuing as Powell is able to stay to the inside of Jonathan Jennings. Jennings almost able to clear the 93 down into turn number 1, and he will indeed get himself back onto the podium. As the white flag is in the air, caution flag has been put away. Justin McMahon making a last-ditch effort here to the inside of the 61 of Frank Hughes. Hughes going to try to throw a block. Hughes gets down into McMahon off of turn number 4. Hughes gets really loose. Does McMahon have anything for him coming across the line? Hughes is going to get the win by a half a truck length over Justin McMahon. Jonathan Jennings comes home in the 3rd position. Kevin Powell back in 4th. Dylan Goodwin in 5th. But man, what a race. What a battle for the win here tonight. Frank Hughes doing everything he can to make that truck as wide as he could. And he gets the win here tonight. You see the fireworks going off in the background. He will get the win here tonight at Worldwide Technology Speedway. He's got to make his way down to the start-finish line. He's going to celebrate his win. Thought he was going to do some donuts here to celebrate, but it looks like he's just going to park it down there at the start-finish line. And we'll take a look at our final results. There you have it. Frank Hughes Jr. getting the win. Justin McMahon, oh so close. 0.05 of a second separated those two. Comes home second. Jonathan Jennings back in 3rd. Kevin Powell and Dylan Goodwin round out your top 5. Tyler Millette brings home 6th. Christopher Simon battles back for a 7th place finish. Bill Gentry back in 8th. Neil Rutt and Adam Gardner with a top 10 finish here tonight. Jeffrey Engel brings it home in 11th with Ricky Williams back in 12th. Daniel Wilkerson 13th. Gary Romeo 14th. And Bobby Goodwin round out your top 15. Goodwin also the last car on the lead lap. Dominic Hughes brings it home in 16th. Kevin Brown 17th. Justin Hughes back in the 18th position. 19th, Gary Clune, Eddie Rivers, and Chris Leftwich round out the field here tonight at Gateway as we get ready to talk to our top 3 drivers. Starting with our 3rd place finisher, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, another great run for you here tonight. Didn't look as strong through most of the session, and all of a sudden the truck came to life. Then the caution came out and kind of threw a big monkey wrench into the situation there. First off, kind of surprised to see as many cautions as we did tonight. Did that kind of mess up your strategy here as the race went on with all those cautions happening?
Oh yeah, it kind of hurt me there. I needed some long runs. How I'd like to drive the truck, it pays off on the long run, but it is what it is. Top 3 is nothing to be mad about.
Yeah, and with the 3rd place finish here tonight, I'm pretty sure we've officially locked up the championship. Coming into the race, you were 94 points ahead of Justin McMahon, and just starting the next 2 races is all you need. So, congratulations on that. Was that kind of the goal here? Just an easy night, a good points night, just to keep that going here, as you knew it was pretty much locked up at that point?
Yeah, well, I know I needed, my magic number was to have 305 points on 2nd place, and if something was to happen, I had to use my starting parts, and that would block it up. But yeah, just the solid finish was the goal to make. I know Daytona's coming up, and it's unpredictable, so.
And five flags coming up as well also can be very unpredictable at the short track. So good luck the next 2 weeks out. We look forward to seeing you clinch this championship. And before I let you go, Jonathan, anyone to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, and Daniel and all the admins for putting this stuff up every week, and my teammates, and Frank, Kevin, and Justin for the good race there, all race.
Yeah, it was good to see a lot of names up there battling hard. Top 5 was a stout packed here tonight. So, again, congrats on the podium, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You-
So that was your 3rd place finisher, Jonathan Jennings. I think that's the first time I've said this all season. 3rd place finisher, Jonathan Jennings. Let's bring in your 2nd place finisher here tonight, Justin McMahon. Jess, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, what an adventurous night for you. I guess that'd be the best way to look at it. Up front for most of the race, missed pit road, able to get back to the back bumper of Jennings. The caution comes out, puts you right back in contention. And then that final lap racing with Frank there, making some contact. I know it was just hard racing, didn't look like anything malicious. And man, what a race! Talk us through those last couple laps, and how did your strategy change as the yellows came out?
Oh man, well, let me just go back to where I made the mistake and missed pit road. I thought my night was over there. That caution that came out actually kind of helped. Thank God. I was able to figure it out going back into pit road, and I was actually able to gain a little bit back on Jonathan going in there, but that caution definitely helped us. Then after that, I mean, I don't know, it was full send. there was I don't even know what to say right now. It was a lot of fun racing tonight. The guys up front there and a couple of the new guys. this is his first race in the league, and I know who I'm going to have to look out for now moving forward, but that was a lot of fun. It was it was hectic all the way around.
Yeah, it's an awesome race. A lot of new faces here tonight, but it's nice to see the league growing. And even though a lot of cautions, it didn't seem like the cautions were they were just interesting cautions. A lot when you go back and watch a lot of multi-car wrecks, it's kind of big ones here tonight. Was that kind of surprising to see all the cautions we had here tonight?
Yeah, I was just talking to Jonathan briefly about it. We were kind of surprised that there was as many cautions as there was. I do have to give a shout out to Chris Simon for getting into him there and bringing out that one of the last cautions there. So I got to apologize for that. He was just on old tires, and I got back into the gas, and I expected him to go, and he didn't. I just barely got into him there and turned him at a 2, which is already a loose corner coming out of anyway, so it really didn't take much, I don't think. I got to go back and take a look at it, but just want to apologize to him for that. But yeah, the amount of cautions I was actually kind of surprised with, but it actually helped me in the end there to bring me back into contention, and it was a lot of fun the last 2 laps there racing Frank for the win there. I definitely got loose going into 4 when I got to run at him at a turn 2 there, and doored him a little bit. I wasn't trying to do that, and luckily we didn't ruin both of our chances, and I was able to get a run on him in there and almost get him out at the line there. But that was a lot of fun, a lot of hard racing tonight, clean, hard racing, I thought.
Yeah, it was a lot of great racing up at the front, and I hate to bring up the elephant in the room, but I know at this point you're racing for second place in points here tonight. So, with the second place,
Is there anything?
What was that?
Do we think there's going to be anything different than that?
I mean,
Jonathan's usually hard to beat.
Yeah, 8 out of 13 races he's won. So
yeah.
that says a lot right there. So, but yeah, Gardner having a bit of a rough night, and you having a good night. That's gonna, I think, leapfrog you back into second place there. So now it's just a battle for the second place in the points. So good luck the next 2 races as they finish out the season. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shout you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, Group 6 for the sponsor on the truck, buddy Nate there. I think he's watching tonight too. The one that owns Group 6. So make sure you check them out. Group6interactive.com. Frank on the win tonight, and Daniel for putting on the hell of a league, and you guys for doing a great broadcast. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, I appreciate it, and good luck, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Now let's bring in your winner here tonight. First race of the league, first race win, Frank Hughes Jr. Frank, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, what a run for you tonight. Showed a lot of speed, showed a lot of patience, and getting yourself the win here tonight. It was not an easy battle. A lot of cautions, kind of messing up a lot of people's different strategies. But you found a way to hold off Jonathan Jennings and Justin McMahon there coming to the end. Talk us through that the last couple laps there, especially that battle there with McMahon.
Oh man, that was crazy. I mean, that was probably the most fun I've ever had battling for a win. I mean, these guys are clean. I mean, that was actually a lot of fun. I mean, I thought I threw it away there coming off a 4 to the checkered. I mean, I tried giving Justin all the room because I knew he got the run down the backstretch, and I was like, oh, it's over, it's done. And then when he got loose in underneath me, and I was like, oh, maybe I still have a shot. And then when it got loose coming out of 4, I was like, oh. But luckily I was able to hold on to it and pull off the win.
Yeah, 0.05 of a second was the interval between you and McMahon there at the end. Talk about the race, though, the strategy. Did the cautions kind of mix up your strategy there coming towards the end, or did it kind of play into your game? Because it seemed like you had a little bit better short run speed, where Jennings and Powell had a little better long run speed.
Yeah, I mean the first couple cautions did throw a wrench in it, so that's why on lap, I don't know, it was 27 when we all pitted. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna either have to short pit this to make sure I beat these guys because I knew they had the long run speed, and it just worked out for me in the end. I mean, coming a lap earlier, I mean that helped me a lot right there.
For sure, and getting your win in your first race with the league. So congratulations on that. Look forward to seeing what you do the rest of the season. Now we have 2 races left, 5 Flags and Daytona. How do you like those last 2 tracks?
I'm pretty comfortable with short tracks. I love Daytona. It's all a guessing game though. At Daytona, you're basically holding the wheel and hope you don't get taken out in the big one.
For sure. Well, Frank, again, congrats. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yes, I would like to thank Doghouse Racing League for accepting my whole team into the league this late into the season. I also would like to thank Hughes's Garage in North Carolina, Hickory, North Carolina. Sorry, and Hughes's Garage in West Pittston, PA. I also like to give a shout out to my little brother Justin, my kid Dominic, and one of my best friends, Neil Rutt.
Awesome, man. All having some great success here, great run here in their first race in the Doghouse League as well. So again, good luck next week, next 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you very much,
Have a
and
great
thank
night.
you guys for what you do also.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And again, good night and have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
So that's going to do it here tonight on the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series. Again, congratulations to Frank Hughes Jr. Again, don't forget to join us in just a few minutes as the SCSRA Truck Series gets ready to take on Darlington Speedway. That's going to be an exciting one as well. Don't forget to join us next week for Five Flags Raceway. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say,